Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, I should say, it's more of a sharing an interesting video with you guys because you know how often I say the establishment uniparty and how they're working in a coordinated effort. Well, now they're just absolutely, and as always, as we've seen for many years, they're just outright doing it in front of everyone's face. And this to me is absolutely outrageous that they are already planning to sabotage Donald Trump. I want you guys to hear this exchange here on MSNBC with John Brennan.
I have to start with the news today with you, Director Brennan, that some version of our intelligence analysis will, there's a plan for Trump to start getting that while he's under criminal prosecution for mishandling classified documents. Will you explain what this is and what you think is likely to happen?
Yeah, Nicole, it's somewhat surreal that an individual who is under indictment for mishandling classified information is going to be getting classified intelligence briefings. But this traditionally is provided to the candidates for president by the sitting president. And so therefore, I think it makes sense for the Biden administration to offer that to Donald Trump. Now, I'm pretty certain that my former intelligence colleagues will provide briefings that are not going to do any type of damage to sources and methods in terms of providing information to Donald Trump that he could misuse. But they will provide analytic overviews and briefings about some of the world's hotspots, letting Donald Trump know what the assessments are at this point. So I think it's going to be analysis that will be devoid of the sources and methods, the sensitive things that we are most concerned about, the types of things that were in all those documents.
Okay, yada yada. So basically, this is the same group of people, the Democrats, who denied Robert Kennedy Jr. security detail or Secret Service detail as a candidate. And now they're basically suggesting that they're going to withhold information. Now, I don't really have too much of an opinion on this because I already know that the establishment uniparty is already withholding information for Donald Trump. They always do. As a matter of fact, when everyone says, yeah, but Trump did this and Trump did that during the last administration, yeah, that's because he was following the direction of the establishment uniparty. Trump thought he could appease them. He thought he could get along with them. He thought he could compromise with them, but you can't. You can't compromise with the establishment uniparty. Now, I know that sounds very hyperbolic. That sounds very inflexible. But the thing is, like when it comes to Putin, like when it comes to China, like when it comes to Iran, like when it comes to North Korea, they only understand strength. They don't admit it because we are in the West, and most everything is looked through a Western lens. The way we approach the world is always perceived through a Western lens. That's why the left and the establishment, well, the left and the progressives have such a difficult time understanding this, particularly all those who are protesting about Gaza and the activity there in Palestine. There's certain words I can't say, of course, because of YouTube. But you guys understand what I'm saying. It is because their lack of cultural understanding. And that is that in these countries where these things are happening, the perception here is just strength. Remember, they considered Donald Trump to be an oaf, a bit of a Neanderthal when it came to how he approached things with Putin and how he approached things with North Korea and China. But remember, it was Trump who responded by saying, hey, if you do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to go after Moscow. I'm going to go after Beijing. And, of course, that wasn't his exact words, of course, because, of course, I'm monitoring it here for YouTube. But you know what I'm saying. He's going to drop something on them, as it were. And, of course, it was, kind of tongue-in-cheek. But the point is, under Donald Trump, that we had no new wars and no new invasions. We didn't have too many problems with our enemies. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump interacted with them. He actually stepped into North Korea. And, these things get kind of pushed away and pushed out of the way because the left and the establishment are always trying to make sure that Donald Trump is painted in a negative light. But this would not be like the first time that a president, or Donald Trump specifically, was misled or denied information, because you guys might remember this from several years ago. I'm trying to see if there's a date on here. Yeah, back in 2020. Ongoing Syrian envoy admits hiding U.S. troop numbers, praises Trump's Mideast record. So despite the fact that he praises what Donald Trump is doing, they were basically just lying to Trump. We were always playing shell games to make clear to our leadership how many troops we had there, Jeffrey said in an interview. The actual number of troops in northeast Syria is a lot more than the roughly 200 Trumps. Wow, why can't I speak today? Roughly 200 troops Trump initially agreed to leave there in 2019. And it's just a big shell game, realpolitik. This is just a fancy word for lying. It's basically what it is, right? But even as he praises the president's support of what he describes as a successful realpolitik approach to the region, he acknowledges that the team routinely misled senior leaders about troop levels in Syria. This is absolutely outrageous. And again, so what they're talking about here is because Donald Trump is going to become, or potentially, right, or is the Republican candidate, then he has offered this information because, of course, should he become president, and it looks like everything is heading that direction, this is yet another leveraging point for the establishment to leverage against Donald Trump, for them to come out and make headlines, and for them to say, we're in control, we're taking care of things, we're not going to let him know this, we're not going to let him know that. It's just dog whistles to their ilk, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, you may have noticed that they're also doing this, but they've changed their language. They've moved away from insurrection because of what happened there in Colorado with the Supreme Court ruling, which will still rule. It's actually going to make a ruling on it. I think in April, around that time, they're going to make an actual ruling, and so the whole insurrection thing is just going to go away. But as I've said to many people in comments across social media, if you haven't already, make sure you're following me here on Twitter. You can find all my social links below this video. But as I've been saying to people, they already know what's going on. They already know the strategy, right? Because they know what Section 3 or Article 3 of the 14th Amendment is. They already know it. But they continue to treat everyone who is ignorant of this law or uninformed about the law. Not that people should know every single thing about the Constitution, every minute detail of the law, or know all law, because it's absolutely, it isn't possible to know everything in law. But something as significant as the Constitution, Section 3 of Article 14, or the 14th Amendment, Article 3, is that they know what it's for. And they're playing everyone as dumb. They're playing on people's ignorance to be able to try to manipulate and leverage their point. And this is absolutely outrageous here. I mean, they're refusing to give information to Trump currently, but this is the way the establishment works. This is them specifically right here for me showing you as an example, John Brennan and MSNBC facilitating John Brennan, who is part of the establishment. So you're seeing it right here. Here's your evidence. When people ask me, I say, here, this video right here. So you're welcome to share this to anybody who wants to know, what is he talking about the establishment? When he says establishment, who's he talking about? You watch this guy on YouTube and he says establishment. What does he mean? Right here. This is it. Right here. And it's absolutely amazing. You'll have to let me know down in the comments what you think. Have you already voted in your primary? Our primary here in Georgia is next Tuesday. As of this recording, it is Thursday, March the 7th. And, of course, tonight will be the State of the Union, which Joe Biden got wrong when he posted yesterday, which was kind of funny. That was going around. It was very viral. He mentioned, I'll be talking tomorrow night, and then he put February 7th instead of March the 7th. So everyone thought that was quite funny. But nonetheless, guys, that's what I had for you today. And appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon for all of you watching here on YouTube. You guys can click on that to subscribe as well as to select notification. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the Friday vlog tomorrow.